Welcome to this tutorial of the Elementi software. Today we will discuss how to set up a network shared drive and how to use a media widget. So to begin, I'm going to use my network shared drive project that I've created previously, and I'm using this media playlist widget. These can be found under the widgets tab, media, and you can use any of these different widgets, up to you. So I just simply drag this over, and I'm going to double click into my media playlist widget. So the first thing you want to do is you want to come over here to the top right to the document properties. You can choose a transitions, that's up to you. You can shuffle. However, you do want to make sure you have looping enabled so that it plays over and over again. And the media duration, I would erase this. It usually should come up about 5 seconds, and just get rid of that. And we'll explain why in a minute. Alright, from here we're going to click this radio icon. So we need to tell the widget where to look. You have some different options that you can choose, but we want to choose a media folder for this tutorial. And then you're going to use a URI from a location on your network, and we'll go into some more detail on this later. You could also filter what's in this location based upon photo, videos. And finally, you want to make sure you choose a refresh rate. So if I were to choose 30 minutes, this widget is going to go to this location and look at it every 30 minutes for new information. If I hit test, you can see what's inside of it. So there's an MP4 video file right here. So I'm going to hit OK, and I'm going to play this video so you guys can see, and it's actually just a PowerPoint, and each slide goes for about 4 seconds. The next thing I want to point out is this gear button right here. We need to edit the duration based upon our content. So if you're running a video, you want to leave it at indefinite. And if you use pictures, you'll use specify. We'll do that in just a moment. So I'm going to hit OK for now. The next thing we're going to do is I'm going to go out to my File Explorer, and we're going to look at the location. Alright, so here's the location of the drive. Here's the root. Here's the Spinetics subfolder, so I'm going to double click into it. Numerous folders, and I'm using video test. And just a minute ago I was using MP4, and here's my MP4 video. So here's the path location. Now you cannot use this won't work. So you don't want to use this location. But what I want to show you guys now is I have a folder called demo pics, and I have some pictures in here, so I currently have 4 of those. And here's the easiest way to add content. You simply are going to want to just navigate another File Explorer. We'll add this picture over to it, just drag it in, and then it'll quickly add. So now we have 5. So remove those. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to switch this from a video to some pictures. So I'm going to come up here, click the gear icon, and I'm going to switch this to say demo pics. And as I'm doing this, I want to explain the URI structure. So the way you need to do this is you're going to use HTTP, and then you're going to use the root of the folder right here. So there's the root, all of from Spinetics to .com. There's the root, and you want to make sure you include port 83. And now you do not need the Spinetics subfolder. You do not need to put that in there. And then after the port, you're just going to put your foldering system. So there's my video test. Let me pull this back up so you guys can see. Here's my Spinetics root. You do not need to put the subfolder there, and then from here you just need the foldering system. The only addition is going to be the HTTP and then the port. That's what you're going to need to add to it. And it should be port 83. So now once I've done this, I have demo pics. We'll just switch it to an hour, refresh, and hit test. So now we can see all 5 photos in there. Hit OK. Now I mentioned earlier we're going to need to come up here to this gear icon, and I'm going to hit play real quick. Come to this gear icon, and we're going to need to change this to specify, because when it's on indefinite, it's going to play this first picture indefinitely, which is not what we want. I want it to play for a certain amount of time, so I'm going to just type in 5s for seconds. M is minutes. You can make this any duration you wanted. You could put it and make it be 26 seconds if you wanted it to be. I'm going to hit OK. So now this is going to loop through these pictures, all 5 of them, each for about 5 seconds, so you guys can see that. So you saw it switch. So I'll go ahead and pause it right there. The next thing I want to do is come out to the web, so you guys can see the location from the web here. Alright, so here's the base location right there, spinetics.com. Here's my video test, and then here's my MP4. I'm my video, or here is my demo pics. So if you want to do it this way, this might be the easiest way to do it. You can just control copy this link, come back to Elementy, come to the radio icon. I'll just delete this, paste it in, and then you'll notice that it actually puts HTTP in there for you. Let's test it, make sure it's working, and then it's going to refresh, and then there you go. So that's probably the quickest and easiest way to do it. Now from here, you're probably going to have some credentials required, and so you're going to need to add these into Elementy and into the player. So to add the credentials to the location into Elementy, come up to the left, hit the menu button. You're going to come to settings, and then to network credentials. So I'm going to scroll down to the bottom where I've added this. So here it is. There's the main location, the root. So it's just Spinetics, and then I have the port added, and you don't need to add the subfolder Spinetics or any of the other folders after that. And of course, you want to make sure you add the username and then the password as well. This realm area, it's called the realm, is completely optional. You can use that if you want. It's just kind of a way for you to know what it is. You can name it. So I'm going to hit OK. So once you do that in Elementy, you'll be able to show the information. The next thing we need to do is we need to come out to the player interface. So as you probably know by now, you can get to the player using the host name or the IP address. So I'm going to log in using the credentials, which default to admin. So let me log in, and once you're in, so I'm currently running this video from my shared drive currently, and I'm going to switch it in just a second, so I just want to point that out. But what you need to do is come over here to System, to save passwords, and you're going to do exactly like you did in Elementy. Simply paste in the same URI with just the port and the root location, username, password, and then optionally you can use the realm, and you'll want to make sure you hit apply. So once you do that, all of the credentials are done. So the last step I want to show you guys today in this tutorial is I'm going to come back and I'm going to publish this project now that I've switched it over to my pictures. So I'm going to hit publish, and in about 5 seconds, there we go. So let me come back out to the player, control center. Now you guys can see the screenshot and see now it's playing my pictures from my demo pics folder. I'll refresh it. And there it is. And this was the tutorial on how to set up a network share drive. Thank you guys for listening.